right, guys. Let's do some charting or review some charting setups that I see here. This is futures based, not the usual option swings that I do. I'll try to get to those after I'm done with this. So we're looking to basically take the breakout of trend lines, right? So on platinum, I usually stick to trend line breakout, retests, entries, or just straight up jump in when we break out on a 4 hour time frame. So I generally start from the higher time frame, right? Like this over here is the monthly, and it probably won't make much sense right now, because of like how the candles form. But I start on the monthly, right? And I see that this is like one of the lowest points that I can get a trend line to basically touch from one point to another, and it doesn't intersect. Um, then I would drop down weekly, right? So I could technically, I guess, try to slant one up like this, but price already crossed up here if I were to leave that trend line, so that's not valid. But anyway, so we have one touch, two touch. Now we're all the way up here, and then this is a 1, 2. Extend over here. This one, 1, 2, comes over here. So there's nothing much else that I can do on a weekly. It's like we have one touch point here, one here, and then I would drop down to daily, see what connections I can make. So this, and here, this one, this touch. If we came down and tapped this purple line a third time, went up and then came back down and break it, that would be a high probability setup because it's over a week's worth of data that's created in the trend line, and then it finally failed. So yeah, I would basically do all the touch points from the monthly all the way down to the 4 hour, which is what you're seeing on this side here. Let's expand this. So now we have first touch point here on Thursday, October 16th. Second touch would be Thursday, November 13th, right? So this would be on watch. We have this yellow line down here, this trend line. So one touch, two touch, three touches. If this breaks, I will short this, right? And actually, let me change the color of it so it stands out a little bit more when I'm on my phone. So yeah, if we lose this trend line right here, I would take it to the downside, and then my earliest target to start trimming would be this bounce here, this bounce here, this bounce here. It depends on if you can afford to take multiple contracts or not. So we have that trend line, we have this one. These are the two that I'm watching with the most amount of data, so I would like to get in on that. But as you drop down to usually I stay on the 4 hour, right? So if we were to do that and adjust our lines, this is how it would look. But sometimes, not often, sometimes I do like to look and see what we're shaping up with on the hourly, and you can refine this channel somewhat. So one touch here, two touches, right? And if it comes up again, that would be 3. We are on a descent, right? So this channel, this yellow, you call it this yellow bearish channel that we're creating right now, these usually break to the upside. So I am not opposed to basically waiting for a breakout of this line right here. And a safer entry would be breakout, retest of a support, or even the trend line to go higher. So there are multiple ways to take this. It depends on what price action is doing. But Anthony Gill, just chart these lines that you see here, especially these. So you can look at the date at the bottom of the screen. So October 16th, right? And then November 13th. That's one of the major ones. This one, October 21st to November 6th. And then the last one was November 14th. So high probability setup with this one, especially because it's a 3 touch point. There's over a week's worth of data that's creating it. I'm not opposed to taking a break out of this channel. I just want you guys to be aware of what it is that I'm watching, so that when I'm like long, platinum here or short platinum here, you have reference points for it. So not going any lower in terms of time frame for platinum. Gold. Sorry, my trading views freezing up. Oh, the signal's weak. Let me just give it a second. Okay, gold. So this was the same process. I started on the monthly, right, to get whatever trend lines I can connect. 1 touch, 2 touch out, 1 touch, 2 touch up, 1 touch, 2 touch up, yada yada yada. So you would go down the time frames and look where all the touches are. The reason why I have this line here is because it's a key level. We have 1 attempt, 2 attempt, 3 attempts, then we finally broke out. There has been no retest for this level as yet. So this would literally be what is it? Break and retest and trade. If it ever comes back down here, right? And we'll make this bigger. And then the style. Yes, that's fine. So, yeah, this is what it looks like on the weekly. These lines won't make much sense on this high time frame. And you come down to the daily. I like to put horizontal lines underneath the higher lows that were created. If you look, you'll see up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and this is a full-blown trend. We lost this level and then pulled back up, so you know that there's strong buying here, right? Okay. So that's on the daily. As you get down to the 4 hour. Oh, this is funny. It actually looks like platinum, right? Where you have this touch here. So this is October 20th. There's a double top right here. So definitely a profit target level. So October 20th, and then the second touch is November 13th, right? And then we have this bottom trend line. Ignore this blue one. This one's not relevant just yet. And we have this bottom trend line starting at October 27th. Then our second touch is November 4th. No third touch on this one. You have another trend line at November 4th that starts there, and then on this second touch here, November 14th. So definitely put those two lines on your chart. Let's go down to the hourly. On the hourly, I usually, right, just to let me know that this is some type of bounce, I will put horizontal lines off of the last areas that I noticed we made a dip and then impulsive move up, right? So this is a higher low, higher low, higher low. So I like to watch to see what happens when price gets to these levels. So this should be marked out at 40.33. This one at 39.92.1. 39.35.2, and these can be take profit areas too when you short. So you have the larger time frame trend lines. Oops, let's put that back. Larger time frame trend lines. Now we are dealing with this weird channel like formation, right? So you can take a horizontal channel and mark this out, or you can use trend lines. One here at November 13th. Second one here is November 13th as well. So this is 2 touches for, I would say, a hourly time frame type trade. If this breaks out, like if we do this, right, and kind of like flag here and then break out of this trend line, this yellow line here, I'm willing to take this to the upside. So that's all that's on gold that I'm watching right now. So don't forget, it's this orange line right here with the 1, 2, and then this tealish looking one here with 1, 2, 3 touches is what I consider higher probability setup for significant breakdown if you have volume confirming the break to the upper downside. So we will watch for that. So we have platinum, gold, and then NQ is the last one that I'm gonna go over because I really don't bother with ES much. Sometimes I'll watch it to see if I can go 0 DTEs on SPY, but I don't really trade ES often for futures. So again, higher time frame. That was one. Higher time frame. You see where I'm connecting my lows, right? Low, low. And again, this is a key level. If you look, you have resistance here. We finally broke. It turned into support. We went up, we retested, and then we shot up again. This is a area of confluence if you look at it, because we have the support, right? We have the sideways doji before we broke out higher. We have a retest, and we also have the trend line. So multiple things happening at once. I would buy from this level if price came back down. I would just need to see what it does when it sweeps liquidity under here. Okay, let's drop down to our daily. So on the daily time frame for NQ, you have 1 touch, 2 touch for this line here, kind of far away, but sometimes NQ will dump significantly. You have this support, this double bottom support right here. I think this is important. 24.42.9 on NQ, and then this is previous sessions low at 24.628.75. So definitely want to put a horizontal line on that. If you go up, this is probably better viewed on the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, you have 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches. So if we break out of this white line to the upside, it's a go. First touch point for this trend line is October 29th. Second is November 3rd. Third is November 12th. So high probability. We also have this one starting on October 10th, and then I gave it last session's low as the second touch, which is November 14th. So on watch. NQ and gold is basically are the 2 things that I'm willing to drop to the hourly to see what's going on there. So you can see 1 touch here for November 12th, another touch here for November 13th, and then this what is this, like fuchsia. This trend line right here starts November 13th, and then wait, was that November 13th? November 13th to November 14th. So definitely chart this, right? This this support at 24627.75 needs to be marked out to see what happens when price comes back down here. There is a fair value gap right here. There's a fair value gap right here. So price could possibly come down to the center of this fair value gap, right? From where it's at right now, it could come down and then go higher. And if you look, we swept liquidity right here, right? We created an order block right here, fair value gap right here, and then we made a higher high, right? So this was the last high. We made a higher high, we came back down. We might just retest this area and go higher. But if we basically go up, pull all the way back down into this fair value gap, high probability setup, I would take a heavier size here and target these highs. It's a thing. I would definitely watch this. Like, however you need to chart this, go ahead and do it. But it's something you want to pay attention to. I've seen these run like 400 ticks if you catch the right one. And this is a significant level, right? Stop loss is triggered back here as well. Trend line bounce, so we'll see what happens there. That's all on the future side. In terms of what I'm watching for a trade, so XOM printed this candle right here after breaking out of this level, right? I want to see what we're gonna do at market open. Maybe there could be a continuation trade here, not a fully cleared setup for me. I re-entered Meta. I tried to do a entry off of this bullish hammer and had my stop loss here, but the way price is moving off of this candle, I basically stopped myself out early. But I'm back in it again. So early entry, I should probably wait for confirmation. Like these patterns, right? They tend to stay within until finally they decide to break. So we shall see. This I am swinging. I'm already in this. This is Chipotle. Like we were in this downward wedge, which eventually breaks bullish. I didn't catch the initial breakout. I caught the retest of this purple line. So I'm currently in that. What is this? This is Core Weave. So Core Weave is interesting because of this doji right here. I wanna see what we do market open Monday. I will trade this. I will trade this to the upside. Like there's a order block here that we tapped. The volume is rising, so if I get a break of this level, the top of this daily candle, actually look at the four hour over here. So if I can get something like this, right, retest, I will enter here and then look to take this higher to probably these highs, these highs, these highs. I'm just trying to follow structure. So high probability watch for me. MSTR. I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm gonna take a stab at it. Same setup. Prices basically slanting down. I don't know if there is relative strength. I don't know if there is any type of divergence. There is not. RSI is basically 25, which is wild. And then MACD is slanting down. So this is still in bear territory for sure. But I'll watch for a possible reversal. And then this video is getting too long. Microsoft. Why was I looking at this? Oh, same setup. If Microsoft can, all right, this is a daily time frame. We have resistance here for sure, right? And let's switch to the 4 hour. So if we can push out of this retest, I will take it higher. Targeting highs, 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 maybe even up here. Depends on how many contracts I get, which probably won't be a lot. So those are the setups. That's what I'm watching. Just chart these as best as you can, and Monday morning we'll see what we're given.